All right. Praise the Lord for so much. Coming back with this part two, we was talking about producing, and when you have to do everything yourself, and I was talking about different things that I do. How I produce, how I mix, how I write. But in this video, let's go a little bit deep, and this is part two for those who want to hear this, because I love talking to the producers also, and I know y'all can relate. A lot of people think they make it just because they got a CD out, or if they get through. I done made it now. I'm big time, and this can tie in with other stuff too, other than music. And you know what you have to realize? You haven't made it yet. How many people put out a CD or did a movie and you haven't heard nothing from them in about 10 or 15 years or 20 years? See, here's the trick. Even when you get through, you are not through. Now you got to figure out how to stay on top. You got to figure out how to stay on top. And that's what I want to title this video. This is how you got to figure out how you're going to stay on top. Because when you make it, you got to keep pushing harder and harder. You know what I'm doing while I'm working on this CD? At the same time, working on the next CD. And it's a good thing here's the other good thing about when you do everything yourself, because you do cut out a lot of the middleman. Even though it's hard on you, it's rough on you, but you cut out a lot of the middleman and you have, more money. And what I want to do, like when I get through with this first CD, it's some more equipment I need to buy. I need to invest back in this stuff. Get another keyboard or whatever. I need some studio monitors. And when you make it, I always tell myself, I ain't made it nowhere. And that's why dealing with this gospel CD that I want to, get done. But here's the thing about me, I don't rush. And I'm not caught up on people talking about hurry up and get through. No. And if people are going to really be on your side and they are really your friend or whatever, they going to wait. Because you shouldn't want nobody to put out no junk. And that's why I have never put out nothing neither, because first of all, I didn't like it. Now, I got a lot of music, people. I got tons of music that I've done I don't know how many years ago, and I got a lot of it on here. But if you ask me, am I satisfied with a lot of it, I would tell you no. But I wanted to put that music on there also because I wanted to show the beginners and people that produce how I used to sound. And a lot of people are ashamed to put their old stuff up because, oh man, they're going to think somebody going to say, well, he's sorry, he's not that good. First of all, quit worrying about what people say. I got some music on here I can't stand. And you know what? When I hear it, I laugh at it. Excuse me. But some people be like, man, this is tight. This sound good. And I be like, what are you listening at? Because just because you think something is terrible, somebody else might love it. And one thing I also learned about producing, don't ever throw away a track. Don't ever throw it out. Because you can always redo it, have a whole new thought, take the same concept and start fresh. I learned that the hard way. Don't never throw out no music. But like I was saying, staying on top is the hard thing. I think I heard that might have been Steve Harvey said that one time about being successful, and he was, talking about in order to be successful, you got to be willing to fail. And he said it's not when you make it, He said you got to figure out how to make it and how to stay on top. And that's one thing I can see about a lot of different people, how they invest in different things. And being a good steward will take you a long way. If you can learn not to blow money, see, it's like me. I don't have nobody backing me. I don't have no help. If I'm gonna spend some money, all the money gonna come from me. And this is why I don't have. This is why I get mad when we don't want to support each other. Just like I told Mitty, man, when you get done with that CD, I get my copies ready. I said I'm gonna buy them. I don't have a problem supporting each other, man, because you know what? I want somebody to support me. I want somebody to buy my CD. I have bought so many people's stuff, and I'm going to keep buying people's stuff. And a lot of people got, left me stupid comments when I used to give my big brother Jamal Hartwell so much credit. And how I used to buy Jamal DVD. Oh, man, I wouldn't have bought that DVD. Man, you know what? When I bought Jamal's DVD, invested in them DVDs, my keyboard playing went all the way up here. See, I was right here in the middle a little bit. I'm not afraid to say that. But when I got Jamal's DVD, when I got Cassandra O'Neal DVD, I went up like this. And I was amazed at how much I learned. And I thought about people that go to school and spend so much money. I don't want to say waste money, but I'm gonna just say they spend so much money on going to school, and they get out of school with a degree and still are lost. I don't know what to do. I have taught many people on here that read music because, like I say, man cannot give me a gift. Now they can play an impact like Jamal and so many others can play an impact on helping you, bring that gift all the way out and where you weak at areas that you are weak in, but you already had the gift inside of you. That's why I say it's a difference between a gift and a talent. You born with that gift. You can pick up on a talent. Papa JT thing was cars. Pop used to be a motors. Race car, whatever. There was nothing you could pretty much tell Pop about a car, a motor. Even when we was growing up, he could tell us what was wrong with our car without even getting up on it because his ears. Not only was he, blessed with being able to see singing was a gift to Pop. He was born with that. He didn't have to go to school for that. And Pop used to show folks how to sing and engineer in the studio. And that comes from God. That's like me now. Pop was cold with them cars. I can pick up a talent on working on cars. I can get up under there and watch Pop. I can learn how to take that alternator off. I can learn how to pull that start off, change oil, do brakes, so many different things. But I had to learn that. But this gift, I was playing inside my mama womb. And one day I'm going to get Pop to come on here and tell the true story, how he came up with my name, my brothers, how God gave him exactly what he had in his vision. And that's going to be a video for Pop to do. So if you're looking at this video, Pop, I need you to do that for me in the future because can't nobody tell it better than you. But not to jump off and all that. The thing is, when you make it, you got to figure out how you're going to stay on top. You got to figure out how you're going to stay on top. One thing I liked about brother Magic Johnson, that brother know how to invest. So many of us that people say black folks don't know how to, manage money. Now, I got to disagree with that. Everybody ain't blowing money. And if you look at everything Johnson invested in, I remember even back then when Kirk Franklin started owning all them, he owned about 7 churches chicken back then. And you gotta figure out how you're gonna keep money generating. And another thing about putting these CDs out now, the stores, like where I'm at, they pretty much have closed down all stores. There's hardly nobody selling CDs out of stores anymore because everybody is selling their CDs online. And what is that? You got iTunes, some different websites, like even the one Miniman was using. And I meant to say that in the other video about doing your own project and making more money that way. But even in, like down here, we maybe have probably Walmart. That's probably maybe the only one selling CDs now. Maybe one more other Target. But they have closed all of them down. Even selling movies now, a lot of places have closed. Blockbusters on closed down here because everybody's making their own movies, downloading their own movies. I'm going to tell you something about this computer, people. I think Miniman said this the other day. Everything is coming down to the computer. You can even buy groceries online now. You can pay all your bills online. I hope y'all catch what I'm saying with this. Everything is coming down to this computer. This is why the things that happen on here, we don't have no control over it. If YouTube decides to block me off right now and never let me back on, there will be nothing I can do about getting on YouTube again. And like I said, I'm having many uploading troubles and a whole lot of problems with the internet. It's not just YouTube either. It's a lot of different websites. But there is nothing you can do about that. So I'm going to have to, figure out how to stay on top when I do get this CD. See, my mind don't stop right there. Oh, man, he big time. He put a CD out. Let me tell you something. That don't mean nothing in so many ways. And I heard Quincy Jones say this. You got to figure out how to stay on top. That's the hard part. Somebody gonna say the hard part was putting the CD together. You go through so much hell trying to put the CD together, and then you figure out you can't trust nobody. See, you can be the coldest piano player, organist, producer, singer, whatever, but if you don't get into the knowledge of business, somebody gonna burn you quick. Trust me. I know a little something about getting burnt in the music field, and I'm glad I learned what I learned, and I know what I know now. You can't hardly trust nobody. You can't hardly trust nobody. And you got so many people being sued behind this and that, and people got to get entertainment lawyers, and you got to learn the business, people. So just when you think you're doing all this playing and all of that, you got to learn the business also. But we half of the time don't want to read nothing. We don't even want to study. People are signing a contract without even reading and wonder why they got burnt like they got burnt. Let's not be ignorant of the word of God, and let's not be ignorant of contracts. I mean, it's each to their own, whoever you are looking at this video. I don't know who I'm talking to in this video, but I'm just putting some things out here, not to say that I know it all, but just talking from experience and dealing with the music field. It's one of the most dirtiest business you can get into. It is. It's one of the most, man, jealous. I mean, people against each other. I ain't gonna go into details about that, but I done had my share of dealing with folks and fake producers and people who just out to get your money. These things go on. And I'm gonna say this again before I end this video. It's the gospel folks that try to take the most advantage over me. That's who I had the most problem with. It wasn't a rapper. It wasn't a weed smoker. It wasn't the thugs. It was the Christian folks who claim to be Christians. Because one thing about dealing with rappers and thugs and whatever, see, I ain't gonna get on camera and lie about things, people. I just can't lie about that. And I can't lie about nothing. I'm gonna tell the truth regardless. And I don't care who get mad. Get mad at God or whatever. And I found out dealing with rappers that they kept it real. And I'm just being real. A lot of times when I set up in them studios, they would get high. They would start writing. Some of them would talk to you crazy at times, but they always kept it real. They knew what they did and how they did it, but it was the church folks who try to hide behind what they do. See, a rapper will let you know I smoke a blunt, I smoke weed, I drink, I run women. That's what I do. That's what I'm rapping about. But not all rappers is rapping about that. You got good rappers out here. This is why I hate when people down everybody. I see good rappers and positive rap. Just like Will, you never seen Will Smith rap gangster rap. So when you label people and put them all in one category, talking about they all going to hell, when you look at some of the older rap, I guess I would say like the early 80s, when before rap turned into gangster rap, they was rapping about smooth stuff, man. And I miss my boy, Lord rest his soul, Heavy D. Heavy D was one of the smoothest, rappers, man, dancers, and he rapped about positive things and good things. And it wasn't a whole lot of this cussing you out and, I need 10 hoes on this side and I gotta get all my grill in my mouth and I need my rims and shooting up folks. That's why I can't stand a whole lot of rap to this day. But I also like a lot of good artists out here, man. That's why when I don't like somebody, I don't say nothing bad about them. You know what I do? Just don't listen to them. I never get on YouTube bashing about this and bashing about that. That's not for me to do. If I don't like it, I don't listen to it. Just like when people watch me, you can look at me or don't. I'm not going to lose no wink of eye sleep behind who like me and who don't. You got to learn, people. It ain't about pleasing people. So the other key is figuring out how to stay on top after you produce, after you sing. How you going to make it after that? Because it's just beginning. When you think you have made it, it's just getting started. I don't care who you are, what you in, even if you are, going to school or whatever. When you get your degree, it's just getting started. Now you got to figure out who's going to hire you and all the ins and outs about that and how you're going to stay on top. So with that being said, love everybody, man. Just a few words from JT Real Talk. God bless you and God keep you. Peace.